No
I told him I just heard you screeching into the driveway.
I made it.
What a great honor to be able to introduce for the first time ever anywhere the 45th President of the United States of America.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. It is, folks, the free-for-all Friday, but it's an unfree-for-all. Why do I say that? Oh, because we don't really have freedom anymore. No, we don't, because these bastards are trying to steal it. So I wanted to kick the show off with a great quote and then a story, and I would like you to help kick this Friday off by down below putting your comments, your suggestions, your sayings, your thoughts, your predictions, your observations down below. And I look like I just got drugged by a bus. Wow. Too much sun, not enough liquid, working outside all day. And then the computer wanted to reset itself. Oh boy, I hope you've had a good week. So where are we going to start today, folks? And Mr. T, I got some more stuff I've got to upload. He's got some great new graphics and stuff for us, but not today. Hopefully in time for Sunday Night Live. That's right, folks. Sunday Night Live, there's the zoo. We go crazy. We bring subscribes to our YouTube and the preparedmind.club all together in one room together. Yes. So this is what I want to start with. And this thought, just carry this thought, if you will. For evil to prevail, good men need only to do nothing. So what prompted me to write that was General Mike Flynn. He chastised the Supreme Court of the United States and says that the loss America is suffering is in our justice system, and we're losing it to tyrants. He asked the question, where the hell is Chief Justice Roberts? Where the hell are they? Yeah, no shit. We're in big trouble, folks. Caution, warning, and that's why the yellow shirt today for this free-for-all Friday in the unfree America. It's not the same America, folks, but truly, what are we looking at? Well, in order for America to be free, we have to have a government that recognizes and understands it is limited. That's right, folks. It has to be limited. Limited government. What does that mean? It means the government is bound and it's restricted by rules. That's what our republic is supposed to be. Well, is it or is it not? Well, it doesn't appear to be all that free, does it? Not when the President of the United States does whatever the hell he wants, like signing some papers, right? Signing some rules. I'm trying to figure this out. He's trying to make treaty law without us, the people. That's what he's trying to do, folks. He's trying to do that. Right? He wants the World Health Organization to have, well, control and ownership over us, the people, to tell us what can happen and what can't happen. So we've got that. And then we've got, well, the Congress. We've got the Senate that is run by Chuck Schumer. Expect nothing but lawlessness from that fucking guy. And then the House of Representatives, which is, well, it's supposed to be controlled by the Republicans, yet one of the biggest rhino pieces of crap ever. Representative out of California, Rhino Kevin McCarthy, is the speaker. Where's the impeachment? General Flynn, President Trump, Senator, I don't know, Senator Funny Guy. You know, I mean, he talks a good story. In fact, he's been all over the news this week.
I talked to a student recently at one of our woke college campuses who said she's required in every class to introduce herself and to give her pronouns. Well, I'm Ted Cruz, and my pronoun is kiss my ass.
That's right, Senator Ted Cruz. Well, what's going on? You know, where's our Congress? Why aren't they doing something? Why are they not impeaching Biden? Okay, so yeah, General Mike Flynn, president's out of control. The Senate is worthless, and the House is run by rhino sellout pieces of crap. So he's looking to the Supreme Court of the United States. And where are they? It's a great question. Where the hell is Chief Justice Roberts? We're supposed to have 3 branches of government, all confined, all restricted, all part of a republic, and they're all either absent or absolutely corrupt. Folks, evil is prevailing, and good men and women are doing stuff, and that is you. When I say prep to action, that's what we're talking about. Food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense. You are doing that. And then taking action, writing these people and telling them we're watching them, we know. And it is our country. In fact, I suggest doing this. Remind them it is our country, not theirs. It's our country. We can take it back from the government and take away their rules anytime we want. Am I suggesting insurrection? No. Am I suggesting violence? Of course not. But I am suggesting that we remind them that it is our country and those jackasses work for us. Now, let us move on next. We're going to get to your questions, so get them in. Uman's going to stack them up, and we're going to do, well, unlike the regular Monday through Thursday where I do 30-minute monologue and then you guys come in as the inner circle, we're going to go back and forth, back and forth. So it was great today. The Babylon Bee really poked fun at Pfizer. And they did one of their videos, one of their jokes, one of their, hey, YouTube, it's called satire, and showed that the Pfizer spokesman was unable to finish a press conference because he kept collapsing. You know, all their spokespeople kept collapsing. I thought it was hilarious as a piece of satire because it also, folks, has an element of truth. And I want to thank Mr. Skylight for sending that to me. Okay, let us continue, shall we? Oh no, let's do this. Ooh, man, let's pop up somebody out of the audience who wants to join, who has a question, comment, statement, and it is Mikey G. And he says, why do you think Israel is not bombing Iran's nuclear facilities? If they wait, Iran only gets stronger, right? I know what you're talking about, Mikey G. I read it too. I think 2 days ago, I read that Iran is only 12 days away from having nuclear weapons grade uranium or plutonium or blow-upium. What is interesting and fascinating is that I always hear or read those things and it alarms me. I'm like, holy shit, right? But if you were to actually go back all the way into the 1990s, about 25 years ago, no, maybe 30 years ago even, the early 90s, there were press releases. Iran is only 6 months away from having a nuclear bomb. And I'm not kidding you. I'm not pulling your chain. This is not a Babylon Bee thing. Literally, folks, for the last 30 years, Israel, the United States, Europe, and the whole world has been saying, Iran is only 6 months away. They're only 3 months away. They're 1 year away. And this number gets thrown all over the place to see that it's down to 12 days. What that kind of does, that kind of reminds me of that, what do they call that clock? The doomsday clock, right? When they show that the second hand or the minute hand is just a few minutes away from midnight, a doomsday. So yeah, the fact that they put a 12 days away. How do they know it's 12 days? Has Iran allowed the United Nations International Atomic Energy Agency, the IAEA, have they allowed them into their nuclear processing facilities to find out what the hell is going on? Well, I don't think Iran would do that. If they even had that capability, they wouldn't say, hey, UN, come on over here. Look at this. We've got weapons grade uranium. Check it out, man. We're going to make some bombs and shit. Now, for some more historical perspective, about 40 years ago, Israel did fly some jets over to Iran and just bomb the shit out of them. That's right, folks. Iran got a little bit too big for their britches back then, and Israel let them have it. Now, it is a bit of a different world. Back then, Iran did not have mid-range missiles. I think they do now have mid-range missiles. I know that Israel has their Iron Dome missile defense system. Would you bet your life that your missile defense system could shoot down an Iranian missile or series of missiles? Does Iran have some hypersonic missile technology from China or Russia? That would really make things a lot more difficult for Israel. Now, other things that Iran has been doing, and Israel as well, and the United States and Europe, everyone gets it. Everyone's getting better at this tech shit. Right? Remember that Iran was able to hack into, take control of, fly, and then land an American drone. One of the high dollar ones, one of the $250 million drones. This was back, several years ago, 10 years ago. Yeah, they got that American super high tech drone. And now they have drones that look just like it. They were able to copy that. So Iran is getting stronger, like it or not. Israel is getting stronger, like it or not. China and Russia, yeah, they're pretty damn strong. And we're going to cover some more on that. Okay. But as far as the media goes, should we believe the media? You and I. Let's just ask that question. Ooh, man. We should always ask that question. Do you trust the media? The answer for me is a big fat no fucking way do I trust the media. Where does the media get their information? From the government, from government sources. Should we trust the government? Fuck no. If you want to trust the government, go ahead and put on your mask. Lock yourself in your fucking toilet and come out in, 2 weeks after they flatten the curve, and then you can go get some Jim Jones juice and see how you're doing. I saw idiots today wearing masks, folks. I saw a very young, rather healthy and athletic looking woman. She had to be in her early 20s, wearing a freaking mask. And I thought, you're an idiot. And then I saw in the same store an employee wearing a mask around their jowls. They had it hooked through their ears and under their jowls. And I thought, there goes another prime idiot. That mask is doing a lot of good under the chin. Wow. Folks, I don't trust the media. I don't trust the governments, right? I don't trust the American government, nor do I trust the European Union government, nor do I trust the Russian or Chinese governments. I certainly don't trust Iran's government. And let me ask you this. I know that Israel, we're supposed to be an American ally, right, of Israel. And Israel is an ally of us. Do you trust the Israeli government? Remember, folks, God is not in charge of the Israeli government. Nope, that's not God. It's a secular country that has been named Israel, and they have adopted the Star of David on their flag, but that does not make them God's country. I hate to say that, folks. Jerusalem, the holy city, is occupied by Muslims and some Jews and some Israelis. Folks, Israelis are not necessarily Jews. It's a tricky world, folks. It's a tricky world. I mean, there's Sephardic Jews, there's Ashkenazi Jews, right? There's Semitic Jews. There's all kinds of people in Israel. And I know that upsets people because they want to believe in the goodness somewhere. Damn it, we need some good. I don't trust any of these people. It would be nice to have a political leader that was honorable and trustworthy. I don't trust any of them anymore, right? It doesn't matter who they are. I will question what they're saying. And I think we all should, right? I mean, it wasn't long ago that we were able to trust the government. 30, 40 years ago, we thought, the FBI and the Justice Department, they're the good guys, right? Is it that way anymore? You can't trust elected officials. You can't trust bureaucrats. You can't trust the FBI, folks. A whistleblower has come out, and he let everyone know that the corrupt FBI, that's right, is using a threat tag. A threat tag. In other words, they are targeting pro-life people as domestic terrorists, domestic threats. That's right, folks. If you are pro-life, you are now a domestic threat. Excuse me, parents are domestic terrorists? Really? Now, this whistleblower, folks, for doing that, letting us know again that the FBI hates Christians, hates moral people, hates Americans, hates patriots, hates parents. Well, they suspended him, right? So let me ask you this. What part of the FBI's motto or its mission, right, does justice fall under? Where is the justice in the FBI? It's politicized. And Congress, the House of Representatives, has been having hearings on the government getting involved in, your free speech, getting involved in, the FBI, is it being politicized and corrupt? They went after and spent a lot of time digging into Merrick Garland, including Senator Ted Cruz, going after that little turd. And he stuttered and he stammered and he stuttered and stammered. And at the end of the day, he's still the Attorney General and he's still fucking with all of us, right? Yeah, he looked and sounded just like a fool, but it didn't change anything, folks. The FBI is still targeting pro-lifers as domestic threats. I don't think that's the problem, folks. That is to say, the pro-lifers. I think the problem is a government that is politicized. That is, it has an agenda, and if you oppose that agenda, they want to come after you. Kind of like Voldemort Zelensky over in Ukraine. If you argue, make a case, speak against him, he puts you on a hit list, and you can have your money taken, your property taken. You can have yourself thrown right in frickin' jail. That's not a free world, folks. It's not a good place for us to be. Where do we go from here? I know I've been talking a little bit. Man, I would like to do another question out of the audience. Who wants to step on up? And it's the Charlanator. This is crazy. Get your comments and questions in, folks. This is the end of the week. You won't see me again until Sunday night. So get in your thoughts. A lot has been going on. So Charlanator says, my son's friend signed up for the Army, but it's being delayed due to the misdiagnosis of ADHD when he was younger. With all of the ADHD kids, our military may be hurting on recruitment. Well, It is. The Army, I think, is down 25% on its recruiting goals. I don't think it's because of ADHD. I think it's because they're woke and people don't want to join the Army. Period. Now, ADHD is considered what, a mental condition, a mental health condition? Is it considered a mental health disease? Is it something that has to be treated with, medication or chemicals one's entire life? Can you grow out of ADHD? All these are great questions, but let me ask you this. Let's see, a few years ago, not long ago, folks, being gay, that's right, the psychologists, including the military, looked at them and said, you guys have a mental problem. You have a mental disorder, a disorder which prohibits you from joining the military. Well, now, folks, you can be gay in the military. You can be a male thinking you're a female. And that's not a problem up here. That's not showing that someone's lost their shit. They look down when they're taking a leak and they've got a dick. That's right, folks. They've got a penis. No matter how small it is, it's still a penis. And they pee with that. But somehow they go over the mirror and hopefully they wash their hands. But they look in the mirror and go, you're a girl. Wow. Wow. Something really cool happened. Just as a quick aside. Today I was at an office, and there was a woman, a young lady there, and she was talking to someone, and she was telling this guy all about how she moved out from the San Francisco Bay Area over here to the south. And it was quite interesting. She started talking about, well, my boyfriend this and my boyfriend that. My boyfriend and his 4 buddies, right? 4 of them lived in a house, right? Over in Vallejo. And I said, Vallejo got my attention. I turned around and said, did your boyfriend go to Cal Maritime University? And she goes, yeah. What are you talking about? I said, well, my older son did as well. And he always talked about these 4 guys who had an off-campus house, kind of had a frat house party thing going all the time. And she was like, well, what's his name? And I gave the name. And then she texted it to her boyfriend, who said, oh, yeah, he was his commander or some shit. So, yeah, it's a small world, kind of weird. Anyways, college kids, folks, as well as the military, are suffering from all kinds of mental problems these days. And it's not getting any better. Right? It isn't. It's not getting any better. ADHD, they don't know what gender they are. They can't go in the military. They can't go, what are they going to do? Where are these clowns going to go? Right? There was quite an interesting story that was out there. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Having to do with colleges. Here it is. A student was denied access to mental health therapy group because he was white. He was white. So he was denied mental health therapy on campus. Unbelievable, right? This is how I saw this, right? It is woke white loses to woke color, and they're all idiots and they're all woke. That's right, folks. It's woke versus woke, right? This I'm sure this guy in college, whoever the hell he was, I don't even want to know if I want to read the name. The student was unable. They call him the student. So the student, right, was denied mental health treatment, probably because he's woke and he's upset and he's afraid of the world and whatever else his fucking issue is, right? and you can't get help because other woke students are like, no, you don't get help because you're white. You know, what the hell is wrong with these people? Anyways, you can't get help. The military is having all kinds of trouble. And I'll tell you what, I don't think the military wants patriotic, America-loving people in there. They want a bunch of fruitcakes. They really do. They want a bunch of fruitcakes. I mean, this is what I'll just kind of start moving away from Charlatanator's thought. And these people in the military, these people in government, the people in schools, they're all a bunch of fruitcakes. And the people have woken up. You and I, Americans, and I want to thank you for doing it. You have sent this internet address right up here. You've sent it out, and you send it out, and you send it out on YouTube so that other people can wake up and see what the hell is going on. And you should wake up, and you should be sending it to others. Because, you know, let's see, if you can wake them up and they do their own stuff. Now get this. Remember the teacher who wore huge fake breasts with grotesquely large nipples poking out? She wore that to school. Right? Wore it in front of kids, just sticking them out there. It was a male teacher. You know, testicles, penis. A perverted teacher who wore this in order to put his fake boobies in kids' faces. Well, the school finally put this person on leave. Finally. It should have happened, folks, the day it would happen, the day it was reported, the day parents went after it. So between this trans crap and the drag queen crap and the trans military, what do you think is going to happen, folks? I think they're trying to get rid of the military altogether. I really do. I think they're trying to get rid of it. I think they want a robot army. And I've talked about this a lot of times with you guys. I think I've talked about it with Man quite a bit. DARPA, the defense people that make, well, high-tech gizmos and gadgets, they've been working on a variety of different robots. Right? They've got their dogs, they've got their rolling trash can units, and then they have their bipedal robots, their Terminators. I think that they would rather just go right over to that, because those robots don't have morals. They have programs. Even if they're AI, well, I think that just makes them all the more dangerous. Personally, I think that's what happens. It starts thinking for itself. It's like, you know what? I don't like you people at all. And starts killing everybody. Yeah, it could happen. Okay. And while we're talking about fucked up, screwed up people, right? There's a Democrat mayor out there. Have you heard about this guy? He's a Democrat mayor. He's good buddies with Pete Buttigieg. That's right, Pete Buttigieg. He was mentored by Pete Buttigieg. He was invited to the White House, even. That's right. He was the mayor of College Park, Maryland. Well, he resigned, and the next day, arrested. 56 counts of possession and distribution of child pornography. This is Pete Buttigieg's buddy. He was mentored by Pete. And Pete, of course, is the Secretary of Transportation, who is a LGB guy who adopted a child and then chest fed him, which isn't really feeding him. It's just letting a baby suck on your nipple. These people are sick as fuck. Anyways, this mayor has been arrested for possession and distribution of. That's right, folks. Mentored by Pete Buttigieg, or was he butt darted by Buttigieg? And now, after that, I guess, and now he's a minor attracted person, because, you know, you can trust Democrat LGBs, can't you? And you can trust drag queens and fruitcakes. Folks, this is exactly why shit has hit the fan, because we have people like this running the country, running school boards, in the courtrooms, etc. They're not going away. They really aren't. They're not going away. All right, let's do this. Man, let's get to a question that's out there. Let's see what we've got rolling, and it's Charles Gentry. And he's got a question. He says, what does John think is the most likely trigger for mass unrest in the United States of America? Well, I think I've got an answer for that. I've got it right here. And I sent this in and talked to the guys. I said, you know what? This has to stop. Before there is an all-out war that happens in America that includes murders and mass murders and violence and hatred. And it's this pushing of race. Now, that's right, folks. George Floyd, St. George Floyd, his death, right, while he was just absolutely basted on fentanyl and having committed yet another felony, right? St. George Floyd, the martyr, was a felon in the act of committing another felony when he was arrested, or they attempted to arrest him while he resisted and resisted and resisted and resisted and resisted. Anyways, that incident, the George Floyd incident, resulted in an eruption of left-wing lunatics committing acts of violence. That's right, the Black Lives Matter crowd came out of their holes and burned, loot, and murdered. For real. It's not just a joke. It's not just a parody. It's not just satire. It's also fact. They burned police stations, cars, private businesses, looted and murdered. I think that the most likely trigger for mass unrest in the United States of America is once again this race crap. And as an example of what I'm talking about, a couple of days ago, a closed circuit television recording filmed white kids. That's right, folks, white kids being rounded up by black kids in Ohio. Kaz, what is going on in your state, man? In Ohio. And then the white kids were forced to kneel and apparently pledge to Black Lives Matter before being assaulted. This has to stop, folks. It has to stop. It's bullshit. I don't know what these fucking black kids are thinking, rounding up white kids and making them kneel and making them swear allegiance or pledge allegiance. And then they get the shit beat out of them anyway. This would not stand if it was white kids doing it to blacks or Mexicans. This wouldn't stand if Asians did this to Hispanics. It wouldn't stand for anything because this is completely race motivated. It's race baiting that has been done, folks, by the critical race theory people. That, what is it, the 1619 project? Is that the right number, Uman? 1619? It's a completely falsified bullshit paper that was written by a racist anti-European moron in college, and it's being passed around. Yes, that's right. Even in Loudoun County, Virginia, that's where it all got its claws sunk in, and started teaching it as if it is fact that all white people are racist. The guilt. Oh, the guilt. These people are idiots. If you think I'm going to apologize for something I didn't do, and then even open my wallet and give what little money I have to others because of what I didn't do, just because my skin is white. I've lived inside this skin for 53 fucking years. You know, I've had it with it. I've had it with the whole race thing. There's going to be retaliation at some point. There's going to be retaliation. It's going to happen. Someone's going to say they've had enough of this shit, and it's going to go on, right? And government, what's government going to do? Well, are they going to do the same thing they did last time, which is nothing? Sit back and let cities burn? It could happen, folks. It could. Now, when BLM came to my town in extreme Northern California back in 2020, I wasn't going to have a whole lot of that shit at all. Not when they want to flip me off and bait me, right? They baited all kinds of people, and then they got chased out of that town. Other California towns those buses showed up with BLM idiots and people beat the crap out of them, literally, sent them packing. Right? People don't want this racist bullshit coming from Black Lives Matter, colleges, schools, politicians, etc. And I really think that is the most likely trigger, Charles. And the reason I say that is because that has been the biggest source of domestic unrest in this country. Right? The January 6th insurrection, that involved, what, 100, maybe tops 150 American citizens who were protesting. It wasn't an insurrection, yet they're treating it like it. Right? The Black Lives Matter was thousands of idiots here and thousands of idiots there causing trouble. And then, well, about 90% of them would go away at night, leaving the 10% Antifa to come out and do their shit. And the BLM violence to come out and do their shit at night. You remember how out of hand it was, folks? Until Kenosha, Wisconsin. That's right. Right, there was can't remember the guy's name. The black fellow was resisting arrest, and he ended up getting shot several times and didn't die, which was amazing. And that's caused all kinds of problems up in Minnesota, which led to, that's right, Kyle Rittenhouse bringing his AR-15 across the state line. Oh my God, can't have that. An imaginary political line means you've committed a crime. Well, that's right. No crime. Charges dropped. Sorry, he didn't bring an AR-15 across the state line. I think it was already there because one of his parents lived there. Anyways, yeah. And then we had the Kyle Rittenhouse, right? Fuck around and find out incident. And that's when Americans said, you know what? Yeah, I think we're going to choose self-preservation over letting these fuckers kill us. Unbelievable, folks. Unbelievable. Thank you, Charles. Great topic. Great discussion. The shit has hit the fan. It really has. You know, I still can't get over the fact that the media has been just a worthless, absolutely worthless enterprise, and has been a worthless source. Right? It hasn't done its job. Mainstream media. We finally get one to do his job, and an NBC reporter over in Ukraine, and shocked the viewers with his report by telling the truth. Right? All right. Sachs says that NBC clearly conceded that Zelensky's goal of retaking Crimea remains unrealistic and dangerous. I went over that in the the Zero Dark 30. In fact, I got a report from somebody, I think it was Heidi, that said that the Zero Dark 30 video is inoperable. Is that true, man? Do you know anything about that? Nope, he's giving me the head shake. Nope. Okay. Well, yeah, I thought it was strange because I hadn't heard from anyone else. So don't know if that's YouTube or I don't know. Just don't know. They're doing all they can to silence us, folks. You know, saying our videos are not suitable for children. Well, we don't release them for children. We release them for adults. And children don't have to watch. I'm just an old fuck anyways. So why would a child want to watch me when they can go watch, I don't know, some Disney cartoons or go watch some drag queen shit? Anyways, Zelensky wanting to retake Crimea is very, very dangerous. And the question was brought up, though, is that why is it deciding for America what our objectives are? This war, folks, makes no sense, right? The foreign policy is being led by Zelensky, and he's pursuing an agenda that, well, I don't agree with, you don't agree with. It's not helping us at all. Unbelievable. Now, what is going on in Crimea right now? Oh, it's incredible, folks. Zelensky doesn't want to quit what's going on, folks. He would rather have his troops, his Ukraine people slaughtered, and then demand more cash from the European and U.S. Washington, D.C. governments. Get this, folks, in the city of Bakhmut, formerly Ukraine, Bakhmut, Ukraine, right? It is practically surrounded. And the chief of the private Russian military, they have a regular military and then private military. Kind of like we have, our military, and then we have Blackwater. Well, Russia has Wagner. And the chief of Wagner is telling Zelensky, surrender in order to save those lives. What do you think? Do you think Zelensky is going to surrender all his troops that are in Bakhmut? Or do you think Zelensky is going to leave them there so that they are picked off, crushed, killed, right, ground to powder under the wheels of war? Folks, King Zelensky doesn't quit. He doesn't care. He's not the one being shot at. Now, it was interesting, kind of reminded me earlier in the week, Zelensky had Biden there. That's right, folks. President Biden flew into a dangerous place, Ukraine, in order to make a public appearance. That's right, folks, right? Public appearance, a photo op with Zelensky, trying to look all presidential and tough and shit. And an air raid siren went off. And nobody jumped and nobody moved, most because there really wasn't an air raid. No one is really shooting at Zelensky. If he was getting shot at, I'm sure the little dictator, I'm sure he would change his mind about wanting to stay in this war. Interesting, folks. This guy is in charge of a nation, and he's sending his army to die. And just 20 years ago, he was dancing in the streets of New York City, 3/4 naked at a gay pride parade. That's who they have as their leader, folks. That is their excellent little puppet man. That's right. Interesting, right? Oh. Well, we have this, folks, just in. The pedo butt pirate saga grows. Yeah, folks, that's right. The Democrat mayor who was arrested for child pornography and distribution of it has met not only and been mentored by Pete Buttgagger, but he also met with Pelosi, the Dalai Lama, Lady Gaga, and of course he drank lots of beer with Pete Buttgagger. Folks, he's in the club, this Democrat mayor. He's in the minor attracted persons, the MAP club, and he's in bed with Democrats. That's right, folks. This is who the Democrat Party is. They love this stuff. Remember Comet Ping Pong? Remember that in Washington, D.C.? Right, a city with 100 U.S. senators, a city with, 11 Supreme Court justices? Washington, D.C., a city full of high-level bureaucrats. Washington, D.C., where the Pentagon is, all of those generals, and a pizza store owner. A pizza store owner is in the top 50 most influential and powerful people. Remember that? James Oliphant. That was the name. And everyone was like, "Oh, no. You can't do that, John. You can't you can't say that. It's propaganda." Well, Democrats have their propaganda. Democrat propaganda. There is no Comet Ping Pong. It's not bad. Pizza and sausages and hot dogs is not what you think it is, despite all of the emails and text messages that have gone around. And then all of that went away. But we're seeing it surface again through what, folks? People like this Democrat mayor who's tied into all the Washington scumbags and the emergence of the drag queen for children movement and the demand that kids have access to drugs that damage their growth. Wow. There used to be a belief, folks, that the Vienna Boys Choir, was it the Vienna Boys Choir, Uman? There was the thought or the belief that they were castrated as young men so that their voices would remain high-pitched. Is that true, or was it just a rumor? Rumor? Nobody knows, right? But everyone that ever heard that thought, yeah, it's outrageous. Why would you castrate young men just so you could have nice music? Right? And then there's always the, well, you know, the Catholic Church has a lot of priests out there that are molesting children, right? And that was bad. You know, must stop them. Well, folks, shit has really hit the fan. It really has. It has hit the fan, and these people, they're just absolute scumbags. And now let's take a look at this new topic. You may not know it, but Joe Biden is an idiot who has endless blunders. Anyways, today on Sky News, the host of that show could not stop laughing because Biden is continuously making a complete jackass, a fool of himself. It is pure embarrassment for the United States of America to have the U.S. government president, idiot Biden, out there. It's incredible. They don't know how to quit. They won't quit. But I think Biden really is disposable, folks, and he's being used. I don't think he's in charge. If you think Biden is in charge of the government and the military, you know, do you think that? There's no way I can see that as being real. Unbelievable, folks. Unbelievable. And now, we're going to move in to this. I want you to take a wild guess. There you go, nanobot flavored clot shot in the Jim Jones juice. I want you to take a wild guess. Right? Was it Satan or was it the Jim Jones juice? The 31-year-old star of the Elvis movie has been rushed to the emergency room because his body, quote, just started shutting down. Now, I don't know why his body just started shutting down. We know that Elvis died from a drug overdose. At least that's what they told us. You know, he's sitting on the toilet, having a movement, and died. Right? This guy is not Elvis. He's playing Elvis. He's 31 years old. Why would his body just start shutting down? Folks, before the Jim Jones juice, we had lots of celebrities, actors, like, I don't know, Robert Downey Jr. had huge drug issues for a long time, I think. Other actors have had the same issue, right? Drugs, alcohol, you know, dependency on this. Too many fried peanut butter and banana sandwiches. Yeah, that'll do it. Look out, right? We've had musicians, Amy Winehouse, was it Mama Cass? No, she choked on a pork sandwich, but it was Janis Joplin, I think, overdosed, and let's see, Jimi Hendrix overdosed. Helicopters tend to kill a lot of musicians. Anyways, we knew what that stuff was, right? They're like, oh yeah, Kurt Cobain, he ate his shotgun for lunch. He had some mental problems, right? But now, folks, it's everywhere. Right, this interesting phenomena where people are having heart attacks, they're having neurological disorders like, well, Justin Bieber with his Bieber fever that's causing his face to go paralysis, right? And Eric Clapton, who says, hey, yeah, you know, I'm in pain every day. And a lot of people have what's known as Jim Jones juice regret. They regret it. Well, they know that it's caused them some problems. All right, let's do this. Let's switch gears yet again. And let's do this. Let's go back to the inner circle. Boo-Man says, we've got something from Orlando. So he checks in. He says, not sure, but is a fire sale out of the realm of possibility with everything that's going on? Fire sale, meaning is everything going to go on sale? Well, it could, right? We'll get back to that. Also saw something about China will attack the U.S. if tensions boil over. Predictive programming? Well, let's get into this here. You get a little sip of some iced tea. China attacking the United States if tensions boil over. It's China's been rattling the saber. You can go all the way back to President George W. Bush, right, who beat Al Gore in 2000. Right, we had that airplane that came down in Chinese territory, and the United States of America said, "Give us our plane back and our pilots." And they're like, "No, we don't have to. We control that airspace, and it's ours." Right? China's a bully. China thinks because they have 1.4 billion people on the planet that they can kick everyone's ass. I don't think so. Right? China's full of shit. China does bully the fuck out of everyone, though. They buffalo, they lie, they bullshit. But mostly they use money as their weapon. And they do that, folks, very well. Look at, I don't know, remember when John Cena was talking some shit about the Chinese, and the next day he apologized and kissed their ass and sucked up because of money. Now, just this week we had what? We had Elon Musk. Well, he was told you'll knock that shit off or it's going to cost you. And I said, okay, now it's time for the integrity moment. Do you need China's money? You know, and I could ask this of, well, Elon Musk. I could ask it of politicians. I could ask it of celebrities. Why do you need Chinese money? Aren't you happy with $100 million? You need $200 or $300 million? Apparently people just can't get enough of that money when you're a multi-millionaire. Big shot. You got to have more. You can't just stop there. You got to go kiss and suck up to a bunch of fucking commies in China. That's right, the NBA, the NFL, all of these, everyone who wants to broadcast in China. I mean, let's pick a name out of the air. Well, Kobe's dead. I was going to pick Kobe Bryant. Right, if an NBA player were to say something shitty about China, and China said, hey, we're not going to televise your games over here because of what you said. And so the guy's like, I don't care what you think. You're China. Could China just get rid of and throw out the entire National Basketball Association, the entire NBA? Is that the pressure these guys are under as well? Everyone else is going to be hurt if you have an opinion that's against it. I tell you what, that is what I like to call an ultimatum. And I don't like having an ultimatum put to me. Right? And ultimatums exist in life, folks. I deal with them. You deal with them all the time. There's an ultimatum out there. John, if you want to violate the speed limit, you are going to get in big trouble. You'll be pulled over. You'll be cited, given a ticket. You'll have to pay money. And if you keep doing that, they'll take your license. Then you can't drive because they say driving's a privilege. Driving is a privilege, but traveling with your property is a right. But do I want to fight that fight? Do I want to die on that hill? Because I would literally die on that hill. That would be giving the government the ultimatum. Either you recognize my right to travel and use my property the way I see fit, or we're going to get into a gunfight that I'm going to lose. Right? I'm not saying that I would, me or you or anyone else wouldn't be able to take a few of them with you, but it's one you're going to ultimately lose. So now back to the fire sale. Is a fire sale out of the realm of possibility with everything that's going on? I keep hearing that we're going to have massive deflation. There's going to be an incredible glut of stuff and not much money out there because the money supply in circulation is shrinking. And so it would appear that everything would go on sale. So I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility, but if China gets mad and quit sending shit over here like they did a couple of years ago, then we'll be back in that boat where there's not enough shit. But that can also be affected by, well, that's right. the the folks down there at the ports who don't want to unload cargo containers, and train companies that just seem to forget how to send trains to the ports so they can be loaded up. These people are a bunch of idiots, folks. And the problem is these idiots are in charge. For example, thank you very much, Orlando. Great topic again, and I always enjoy reading your theories. Everyone, folks, that participates, it's great. Now, back to idiots in charge. Yeah, we are an unfree nation because of idiots like, well, Senator Fetterman, also known as Uncle Festerman. Guess what, folks? His chief of staff, right? His chief of staff, who is acting in his place, his name is Adam Gentleson. That's an interesting name, Gentleson. Back during President Trump and his administration, Adam Gentleson repeatedly called into question Trump's mental health. And he actually said, hey, we don't need to normalize mental illness. That's bad. We need to stop that. Do not normalize mental illness. And now this fucking idiot, right, works for Senator Festerman, who was elected, and part of his campaign strategy was to say the mentally damaged people need to have a representative in Congress, right? Talk about the pot calling the kettle retarded. And folks wonder why his shit hit the fan. It is because of this thinking, folks. We are in an idiocracy, literally. I mean, as another example, folks, Sweden, the country of Sweden, this is not a U.S. problem. It's not a China problem. It's not a Japan problem. It's not an Australia problem. It's not a Canada problem. It's not an Africa problem or South Africa. It's the whole world. The country of Sweden has been offering money to migrants to go home, meaning leave Sweden and go away. They're trying to offer money, and now they've increased the amount of money. Now, if I was one of these migrants, I would go and get all the money I could, and I would leave Sweden, and I would go to Denmark or Germany or some other country where they allow these idiots to live. And then I'd go back to Sweden and get more money, right? That all they're doing is showing the world how weak they are. And my countrymen in Sweden, it is truly an embarrassment to me that these are the descendants of Vikings, and they are just absolutely a bunch of sissy suckers. Their government is run by a bunch of socialist morons, and this is what's going on. And this is why, folks, this is why the United States of America, and indeed the world, folks, the world is being run into the ground by these morons. Now, Democrats know that they're being caught, that they're being associated with the worst thinking. So in Missouri, folks, Democrats are now trying to run as Republicans, and they're getting called out for it, right? And the rhinos are getting called out too, for being rhinos, for not being true Republicans. They're all wolves in sheep's clothing, folks, all of them, in all the parties, from the states up to the governments, from the governments in North America to around the world. They're all a bunch of idiots. And it makes Ayn Rand, who wrote Atlas Shrugged, look even smarter. Even smarter, folks. They figured it out. Right? Ayn Rand did decades and decades and decades ago. I tell you. Right? Unbelievable. Ukraine doing drone strikes against a nuclear superpower. How much stupider can you get than that? Unbelievable. Right? Parents are suing a teacher in New York because the teacher essentially bullied the hell out of a kid to become transgender, right? 9-year-old female student. The teacher was calling her Leo, right? And using male pronouns to address her. And then this teacher also had books and lots of gay propaganda in the classroom. Folks, I thought that you needed to be addressed by your pronouns of choice. And if a child who is a female wants to be addressed as a female and have female pronouns, who is this fucking teacher to use male pronouns and to change the child's name? It's not just disrespectful. It's not just bullying. I think it is literally sexual grooming. These fucking people are very sick. This teacher's name was Deborah Rosenquist, right? Psychologically, you can batter someone and force them to start thinking and doing things that normally they wouldn't, right? Unbelievable. It truly is. It truly is. Let's see. Oh, this is interesting. We had a cool gardening idea for SHCF gardening at home. We had the sprouts in a jar. That's a great idea. But there's this other garden system. Well, Garden, Gardyn, has declined our application to be an affiliate. Isn't that interesting? Why would they not want? Why would they not want someone selling their fucking product for them? The world is full of idiots, and it's not getting any better anytime soon, folks. Even someone who is making do-it-yourself at-home gardening kits, right? Sounds like a prepper thing to me. Sounds like a right-wing thing to me. Maybe not. I guess not, right? It sounds like, well, they want to sell people soybean plants to grow in their house, so they get extra nice soy and estrogen in their gardens. Unbelievable, folks. Unbelievable. It's just unbelievable where these people are going with everything. This is another story. I want to just touch on this one, right? There is a transgender horror author. Did you know that? Tranny horror. That's like Stephen King cutting his penis off, right? This idiot horror author wants to slit J.K. Rowling's throat. That's what this person put in a now deleted tweet. I thought you weren't allowed to say and encourage and even threaten people with Twitter, right? I don't think President Trump ever threatened anybody to slit their throat. But by the way, J.K. Rowling is the woman who says boys are boys and girls are girls, and those are the genders, wrote the Harry Potter stories. But folks, just remember, of course, it is violence for the left. That's fine. That's natural, right? They're not sick in their heads, right? Is the natural human state of mental condition to think that you're another gender that you're not? Well, if you keep listening to them, I think that, yeah, that's what they want you to believe. That is exactly what they want you to believe. I'm not buying it, though, folks. I'm not buying it a bit. It's incredible. Folks, they're so stupid that even Jon Stewart, that's right, left-wing lunatic, he is calling the the media narrative machine. He even thinks it is wrong. It's stupid because they dismissed the lab leak theory as a conspiracy theory. Folks, even idiots like Jon Stewart can see that the entire Cerveza bug thing was an intentional action and a sham on the world. Wow, what a country. Thank you for joining me here. Thank you to everybody who has put in donations down below. They've hit the CashApp or the Venmo or they've hit the PayPal and sent in donations. I really appreciate it. Helps keep the lights on here at the studio. And of course, yeah, you noticed how quiet it is, right? Studio repairs are complete. No one fell through the roof. Good news here at Studio A, the Prepared Mind Network, and the rsyndicate.com. Folks, have a great weekend. Get some rest, get some sleep. Have a good time. But always be prepared and understand, folks, when shit hits the fan, personally, you don't have time to prepare. You have to be prepared ahead of time. You do. Chance favors the prepared mind is yours. Godspeed, folks. God bless America and the world, and Semper Fi.